The movie begins with a drug enforcement officer named Jackie. She's talking on the phone with an informant. The woman on the other end sounds panicked and terrified, as if she knows she's in grave danger. Jackie speaks calmly, promising the woman that she will keep her safe no matter what. After hanging up, Jackie gets out of her car. Suddenly, a team of assassins bursts from the shadows. They launch a violent attack, leaving Jackie severely wounded. Despite her injuries, Jackie fights back and fires her weapon at the attackers. Realizing she won't survive, she pulls out her phone and sends a final, urgent message. To make sure the killers can't track her data, she throws the phone into the water. Moments later, the hitmen close in and finish the job, killing her on the spot. The story moves to the following day. We meet Lieutenant Dane, the leader of Jackie's team. He is furious and heartbroken over the loss of his officer. He gets into a heated argument with his boss, Major Thumb, unable to accept that Jackie is gone. His boss drops a bombshell. A special FBI team has taken over the case. They are already interrogating everyone in the department. The FBI doesn't think this was a random attack. They believe someone on Jackie's own team betrayed her and helped the killers find her. Shortly after, an FBI agent named Del Byrne starts questioning the officers. The team includes Numa Baptiste, Lolo Salazar, a Chinese officer named Mike, and J.D. Byrne. Every officer tells the same story. Jackie was a great person and a dedicated cop. They all admit that her death has left them devastated. Next, Del questions J.D. J.D. acts like he has no clue why someone would want to kill Jackie, but Del has already done his homework. He reveals that he knows J.D. and Jackie were dating. Del points out that J.D. had spent nearly every night at her house over the last week. Del starts taunting and pressuring J.D. about their secret relationship. The tension explodes and J.D. snaps. He lunges at Del and a vicious fight breaks out. The other officers have to rush into the room to pull them apart before anyone gets seriously hurt. Later, the big boss, Thumb, asks why J.D. and the FBI agent Del hate each other so much. Dane reveals a surprising secret. The two men are actually brothers. He explains that they have always competed and fought with each other, which is why they can't even be in the same room without a fight breaking out. Feeling angry and sad, J.D. storms into the bathroom to be alone. Dane follows him. Inside, it becomes obvious that J.D. truly hates his brother. Both Dane and J.D. are hurting because they miss Jackie, and they are both desperate to catch her killers. At the same time, the FBI still firmly believes that a traitor in the unit set Jackie up. A little while later, J.D. goes back to the group. He cracks jokes and acts casual, trying to hide his pain from everyone else. While J.D. hides his feelings, Dane looks at the final text message Jackie sent before she died. In the message, she warned about a secret house that is supposedly filled with a massive amount of cash. Just then, a DEA officer named Nix shows up with his own team. Nix's crew is famous for taking down big criminal gangs. They're good friends with Dane and JD's team because they have worked together many times to bust the mafia. Dane joins them and reveals that he has received a solid tip about a house that needs to be raided. With that information, the teams move forward with Operation.
Before they go into the house, Dane does something clever. He tells every officer a different lie about how much money's inside. He tells Mike there might be $150,000, tells JD it could be $300,000, and tells Numa it's only $75,000. He's doing this to see if anyone repeats a specific number later. When they get to the house, they meet a woman named Desi. She's Mexican, which makes the officers suspicious because they think the house might belong to a Mexican drug cartel. Dane shows her a search warrant, and the team goes inside. They bring in their police dog, Wilbur. The dog quickly finds a scent and leads them to the second floor. Dane asks Desi where the money is, but she says she doesn't know anything. Upstairs, Dane and JD find several large blue barrels hidden away. They confront Desi again and demand answers. Desi tells them she lived there with her grandmother, who passed away a few months ago. She claims she only came back to the house to handle medical bills and insists she knows nothing about the hidden cash. Dane doesn't believe her. He is sure Desi is lying. Even though she keeps saying she is innocent, Dane and JD explain that almost every house in this neighborhood is owned by the mafia. That is why they were so certain they would find a fortune inside. As they talk, Desi starts to think Dane and JD are dirty cops. She notices two strange tattoos on Dane's hands and asks about them. Dane tells her that one tattoo represents a question and the other represents an answer. Dane and JD finally pry open one of the barrels and their jaws drop. The barrel is stuffed with $1.4 million in cash. They count 14 barrels in total. They quickly realize they're standing in front of nearly $20 million. Dane orders everyone to hand over their cell phones. The team is annoyed and complains, but they eventually give them up. Dane brings all the barrels downstairs. He tells Lolo and Numa to start counting the cash and orders Mike to stay outside and watch the door. JD is worried. He points out that it is getting dark, and having $20 million in a house makes them a huge target. He thinks they should grab the money and leave right away. Dane says no. He insists on following the rules. Every dollar must be counted and written down before they go anywhere. He also warns them not to tell their boss about the money yet. JD mentions that Jackie was waiting for a big tip before she died, and this must be what she was talking about. Dane answers coldly, saying it doesn't matter. To him, following the plan is the only thing that's important right now. Suddenly, Mike calls out a warning. Police cars have pulled up outside. JD and Mike go out to meet them. The arriving officers ask what is going on, and JD explains they're performing a legal raid. However, the new officers claim they never heard anything about it. The team quickly realizes something is wrong. They notice these are low-level cops, and one of them is actually suspended from the force. Sensing a trap, the team rushes back inside. They know that if these corrupt cops find out about the $20 million, a bloody gunfight will start immediately. Dane orders the team to grab their weapons and put on their bulletproof vests. They tie Desi up. She is incredibly angry but can't do anything to stop them. While this is happening, Mike sneaks away and pulls out a secret second phone. He sends a message to his chief saying they found a fortune, but warns that everything is about to turn into a disaster. Dane questions Desi again, and this time he is much more aggressive. Finally, she tells the truth. She explains that two men came to the house and left the money. They told her that if anyone came for it, she should just let them take it. To those men, the money was worthless. While they're talking, Desi sees a picture on Dane's phone. She asks who the little boy is, and Dane tells her it is his son. Dane and JD then check Desi's history on their device, but she has no criminal record. Suddenly, a phone in the house starts ringing. JD picks it up. A mysterious voice on the line tells him to take some money and run. The voice warns that his life isn't worth dying for over $150,000. JD is stunned. He pulls Dane into another room, exploding with anger. He remembers that Dane told him there would be $300,000, but the person on the phone said $150,000, the exact same number Dane had told Mike earlier. JD realizes that Dane has been lying to the team from the start. He knows Dane is playing a secret, dangerous game, but Dane refuses to explain what he is really doing. While the others argue, Numa and Lolo keep counting the piles of cash. The more they look at the money, the more they want to steal some. They realize that just a little bit of this money could change their lives forever. Outside, JD calls Nix and begs him to bring his team for backup. JD even thinks about calling his brother, Dell, for help. At first, Nix says no. But JD explains that Dane had a secret tip about the house and that they found a massive amount of money. He also mentions that Dane is keeping the whole thing a secret from their boss. Nix listens, feeling lost and broken. Ever since his son died of cancer and his wife left him, his life has been falling apart. He is desperate to find out who killed Jackie. Hearing about the money and the potential lead, he finally agrees to help. Inside the house, Desi watches Dane whispering to the two female officers. She realizes the truth. They are planning to steal all the money for themselves. Outside, JD talks to Mike. Mike points out how creepy it is that the whole neighborhood has gone completely silent. Suddenly, the lights in the house across the street start flashing. Someone is using the lights to blink a message in code, insulting and mocking them. JD loses his temper and storms toward that house to find out who is doing it. Meanwhile, Mike goes back inside to find Dane. While Dane is in another room, Desi overhears him on the phone with the chief. Dane lies to his boss, saying they only found $150,000 and are leaving now. When Mike walks in, Desi pulls him aside. She warns him that Dane and the two women are going to steal the cash and tells him he needs to act fast. Just then, another phone rings. Numa answers it, and a voice gives them a terrifying choice. They have 10 minutes to leave or they will all be killed. Outside, Mike calls the chief one more time. He begs him to get there immediately to protect the cash. When Mike goes back inside to talk to Numa and Lolo, they act like everything is fine. Dane returns and Numa tells him the bad news. Armed killers will be there in 5 minutes. Suddenly, gunshots ring out from the street. The team fires back, and during the chaos, Lolo is hit and wounded. Dane and Mike chase the shooters, but the gunmen jump into a car and speed away. JD appears, dragging a man he caught. The man admits he works for the mafia, but he swears he never shot at them. He puts the team on the phone with his boss, a powerful Mexican cartel leader. The boss tells them something shocking. The $20 million doesn't belong to him anymore, and he doesn't want it. He says the police have been watching him ever since Jackie was killed, but his people didn't kill her. He claims the real killer is someone on their own team. He also says he isn't interested in fighting cops, so he didn't send the shooters.
Dane and JD are stunned. They go back inside, and Dane tells the entire team that the money doesn't belong to the mafia anymore, meaning no one is coming to reclaim it. Numa immediately speaks up. "Let's keep it." She suggests they only report the small amount Dane mentioned to the chief and split the rest of the millions. JD loses it. He screams at Dane, accusing him of hiring the gunmen outside to fake an attack so he could steal the cash. The two men start a brutal fight, and Mike has to step in to stop them. Dane ignores the accusations and orders everyone to pack the money so they can leave. While this is happening, Mike goes into the bathroom and realizes with horror that his secret phone is missing. He must have dropped it outside during the shootout. Outside, JD calls Nix again and tells him to hurry. He explains that someone slashed their car tires, so they are stranded. He tells Nix to bring a truck so they can move the heavy bags of cash. He also messaged someone after that call. Inside, Mike asks Desi for her phone to make a call, but he finds out that Dane has already taken it. Mike then starts a fire by knocking over candles around the house. While the building begins to burn, Mike, Numa, and Lolo quickly stuff the millions of dollars into bags. Dane gives them a specific number to tell the other officers, so the rest of the money stays hidden. Soon, the entire house is on fire. The team carries the bags of money out just as Nix pulls up in his truck. They toss the cash into the back. Dane tells Numa and Lolo to take Desi to the police station for questioning. Later, Dane gets in the truck with Nix, JD, and Mike. As they drive away, everyone sits with their guns ready. Dane tries to call the chief, but Mike points out that Dane already gave the boss the wrong information. Suddenly, the tension shifts. Dane looks at Mike and tells him he knows Mike is the traitor. He reveals that the whole night was a trap to find the mole. He explains that he gave every officer a different amount for the money, and Mike was the only one told the number $150,000. Since that exact number was used by the mysterious caller to threaten JD, it proves Mike was the one talking to the enemies. Mike tries to lie, saying his phone was with Dane the whole time, but JD reaches into his pocket and pulls out Mike's secret second phone, which he had snatched during their earlier fight. This phone proves Mike was the one who ordered the gunmen to attack the house. Dane drops another truth. Jackie had messaged him the night before. He used the different money amounts specifically to smoke out the traitor, and Mike walked right into it. When they demand to know who Mike is working for, Mike stays silent. Then they turn to Nix. They ask why he showed up all by himself instead of bringing his team. Nix claims his men had already gone home for the night, but Dane and JD don't believe it. They accuse Nix of being Mike's secret partner. Nix starts to laugh, but the laughter stops when Dane forces Mike to call his chief. As Mike's phone dials the number, Nix's phone begins to ring in his pocket. The truth is finally out. Nix and Mike were partners the whole time. They were the ones who set everyone up from the very beginning. A gunfight starts immediately. In the mess, JD gets shot and hurt. Nix is too strong. He beats up both JD and Dane and takes their guns. Now that he's in charge, Nix makes a deal. They can split the $20 million and all go home rich. As the truth comes out, JD's phone rings. It's his brother, Del. JD puts him on speakerphone so everyone can hear. Del says his FBI team has the road blocked and orders everyone to get out of the truck. Actually, JD sends his live location to Del earlier on in that secret message. Nix starts to panic, suggesting they kill Mike, keep the cash, and lie to the FBI. JD looks at him coldly and says, "I never hung up the phone. Del heard everything." Terrified and trapped, Nix starts shooting again. He grabs the bags of money and tries to run for it. While Nix tries to escape, Mike grabs a bag of cash and sprints into the dark forest. A wild chase begins. JD goes after Nix, eventually slamming his car into Nix's vehicle and causing a violent crash. Deep in the woods, Dane catches up to Mike. They get into a savage fistfight. After a long struggle, Dane proves to be the stronger fighter and defeats Mike. Back at the car wreck, Nix is trapped and desperate. He begs JD for his life, telling him to take all the money and just let him walk away. JD reaches into the bag to show Nix a final surprise. There is no money. The bag is filled with nothing but old books. Knowing the truth is out and justice must be served, JD don't hesitate. He shoots and kills Nix, finally getting revenge for Jackie. In the woods, Dane arrests Mike. He takes him into custody. Soon after, we see Numa and Lolo driving a truck. Desi is sitting right there with them. The truck is filled with all the actual bags of money. They drive to the police headquarters and turn over every single dollar to the authorities. The officers count the cash, and it matches the exact number that Dane and his team reported. Because the numbers are perfect, the high-ranking officers praise Dane's unit for being honest and professional. Then comes the big surprise. The police give Desi 20% of the money as a reward for her help. The movie reveals the truth. Desi was Jackie's secret informant. She was the terrified woman on the phone in the very first scene of the movie. Jackie died to protect her, and now Desi is safe and wealthy. Desi walks over to Dane to thank him. Dane tells her he knew all along that she was Jackie's secret informant. He knows she is a good person and will tell the truth about Mike's betrayal. Desi is crushed to hear that Jackie is dead. She had no idea her friend had been murdered. As they say goodbye, Dane finally explains his tattoos. He tells her one is a question, "Are you a good cop?" The other is the answer, "Yes." He explains that his son asked him that question before he died. Dane promised his son he would always be a good man, and the tattoos remind him of that promise every day. As the sun begins to rise, Dane and JD sit together, sharing a drink and watching the morning light. After all the chaos and betrayal, they are the only ones left standing. The movie ends in this quiet, peaceful moment. If you enjoyed this movie recap, please like, subscribe, and share the video. Now, Movie Mystery Lab is signing out.